This is a story about the pursuit of photography and how it helped me become a better designer and artist. I got my first camera when I was about 19. It was entry level without an interchangeable lens. I took lots and lots of pictures. Time went on, my priorities started to change. I needed to save money for a move to the UK for my degree program in digital media design. Here I am looking quite skinny. After graduating university, I was pretty broke. I was working in a retail job and going from job to job while trying to juggle an internship at the same time. The lack of sleep, food and dopamine was taking its toll, but it's all about perseverance, right? I was really struggling to get my break into the industry in any capacity. I found myself underweight, depressed and sick in my stomach at the prospect of stacking shelves for another several weeks. I needed to do something creative. I realized that I needed to start using a camera again. I knew it would help me amplify my skills in motion design. I met a person called Rockus in the co-op where I worked. He was a fellow creative and enjoyed photography. He mentioned he wanted to collaborate with other people to do more video and photography. He lent me his camera and we'd set time aside on our days off to do shoots. Finding a fellow creative helped me keep the fire alive. Keep an open mind. The person you need might be stacking shelves right next to you. Be open and vocal about your creative journey. You never know who might be looking for a creative partner. We are all suffering silently. Eventually, I got my break in a digital design studio. Despite being a digital designer, motion design was always my focus since being the age of 19. In the evenings, after making banner ads, I'd learn Cinema 4D and keep upskilling in After Effects. Then came Andrew Kramer's keynote in 2015.
All right, this is the next one. Getting a camera. I think, I don't know what you guys are here for, but everyone should have a camera. Even the media guys in the back that are doing the sound. Get a camera, if you're into visual effects especially, because a camera is the best way to learn about physics, is the best way to learn about composition, light, shadow, setting up shots. If you can understand depth of field, the way, diffraction, chromatic aberration, all these real phenomena that we all try to, emulate in our visual effects program, get a camera and you'll see exactly how it works.
He reaffirmed the importance of using a camera. It kept me on track to get that camera I so desperately desired. A few years went on. I'd worked in a few jobs now and it was time to go freelance. A year into freelancing, we entered lockdown. It hit me quite hard. I'd not been freelancing long enough to build up a strong clientele, and there was no work for the first 6 months of lockdown, so I needed to find an outlet to help with the anxiety and worry. During lockdown, a close friend of mine lent me his camera. It was a Canon 550D. To save money, I bought a few lens adapters to use with vintage lenses. I started to play and experiment. It was like being 17 again, but with more knowledge. The camera had its limitations, but I found a way to make it work. It was the first camera I used on a regular basis with an interchangeable lens. I took so many photos with it, using different cheap lenses. I even hacked the firmware so I could use it in higher resolution. Thanks, Kev. Sorry, I still have your camera. After a while, work picked up again, and I took a leap and bought my first camera. Felt like a financial luxury, but I rediscovered a creative outlet. It felt like Christmas Day as a child. I finally got that thing I've been wanting for years. I thought I'd never have. After using the camera, I began to see a change in my motion design and art. My composition became stronger. Camera movements in 3D felt calculated. I think this came from trying to understand how real-world cameras worked. The rules and principles around videography and photography forced me to pay attention to the finer details. I paid closer attention to areas like bokeh, aperture, exposure, and framing. By pursuing this hobby, I was able to take what I learned from photography and apply it to my design and 3D work. You don't need to give up on a hobby because of the variables in your life. There is always the chance to try new ventures and creative routes, regardless of how long it takes to do so. My skills in motion design and 3D were lifted by my journey into photography and video. I have used my camera to capture some wonderful moments of my friends, family, and personal wonders. Now I look for any opportunity to bring my camera with me on my adventures. Stay curious and never give up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, and if you're feeling generous, subscribe to the channel. Thank you and goodbye.